too rough of a fight there. You guys take a short rest and are not interrupted, but just at the very end of your short rest, you are joined by the Archlich Acererak, angry that his 200-year experiment for which he had to collect a god has been, set back. Battle ensued, and you guys pulled that off just barely by a hair.
Yeah.
And
That was rough.
you're now in, the here in the cradle of the death god in this with this bubbling pool of lava, surrounded by a handful of liches phylacteries. You guys tossed a bunch of them that you could lift into the lava, but there's still a couple of them, the bigger ones, hanging out here. You've got a snake that was summoned at the last minute. I think that's Nayana's staff, someone's staff.
Yeah.
So you can pull that back into your staff if you want, and you kind of look out around the room, and your friends are lying broken and lifeless, as you and Tyranny sort of stand over the body of a fallen adversary.
Hey Tyranny, you want to go through their bodies and see what kind of goodies we can get before we think about bringing them back to life?
Wow.
Yeah, I think that Arias had some weapons that I wanted.
That's pretty cool. I think we should do it now.
Yeah.
I get up and brush my shoulders off.
It doesn't really work that way this time. It works that way every other time, but it doesn't really. You're gonna need a little bit more help.
Oh, and I think I step on Arias's hand for all the times he's raged.
Does Mortee still have his gargoyle hand on him?
Yeah, I mean, oh no, actually no.
No,
You guys have taken a bunch of sort of collateral damage from from the sphere of annihilation that still floats ominously in the room with no one to control it.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, so I have a question for you. Okay, so all the gods are dead now. So even though we set him back by 200 years, are there other gods that he can use in 200 years?
For sure that there are in your realms alone. There's probably 100 gods about the strength of the 9 trickster gods that you've been interacting with. Ubtao was probably fair bit stronger than them, though. You don't know, and it sounded like he had this whole plot to, as you're piecing this story together, it sounds like he worked with Ross Nisi to convince sort of Ubtao to come down to the material plane where he could be ambushed. So it doesn't seem like it's an easy thing to do what he did, but there's no saying whether or not he could do it again. And there are dozens of worlds much like yours. He might not even have to come to this world again.
Oh, gotcha.
Well,
Okay.
With us here, he better not, actually.
You're not actually here. You keep acting like you're alive.
So, I'm gonna go search his body.
I guess I should do something about this, huh, Tyranny?
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, as far as loot, your companions have what's marked on their character sheet. Arias is badly burned from falling in the lava. Mortee, I don't remember what got him, a finger of death, I think. So he's just kind of lifeless, and
He's been fingered to death.
Folly similarly. All of them badly damaged by this sphere of annihilation, just sort of lopping off pieces of their body.
Okay,
They're a mess. They're a mess.
Yeah, they look like a mess. But we're always cleaning up after them, so
Right.
yeah, it's giving me a dirty look. Hi, Rebel. Oh. Okay, sorry.
Can we also go over a Serac stuff? Look at his, search him?
Yeah, so I did link this stuff, and I think I've popped it up here. He has a staff that's very, very interesting, and he has a talisman also of interest.
Oh, that's right. He had stuff. Um, yeah, can we go through that before we do some spells and stuff?
You guys can do whatever you want. These guys just have to sit here and listen to it.
What the staff is.
Dude, these are some powerful magic items. Holy shit.
The Staff of the Forgotten One is absolutely bonkers.
That's that's insane.
Okay, let me read this.
Wait, what are...
This is the talisman of the sphere.
Just the stuff on that staff, like undead with a CR of 2 or lower will not attack or threaten you.
Yeah, I want this staff.
Tyranny's like, I'm gonna hold all the +3 weapons. Is that okay?
I'm a weapons master.
I kind of want the sphere.
What, the sphere?
Isn't there a sphere? Salesman.
The crazy face guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, take that.
Okay.
And I'll take the staff.
Cool.
there
Can I-
anything else?
so as you pick up the Talisman of the Sphere, Tyranny, or sorry, Nayana, can I get from you a an intelligence Arcana roll?
Okay. Are you sure? I mean, maybe she picks it up and everything's okay.
Didn't say it wasn't.
Let me pull up my character sheet. Give me 1 second.
Here.
Wow. Hey, Alfie, can you like throwing it for me by chance?
No problem.
Sorry. It's just not loading up on our end real. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are a disaster. Just a mess.
Yeah. Right now, it's kind of messy.
You guys just.
We moved the computer out of the room to make room for the baby stuff, and yeah, kind of messy.
Gotcha. It's loading up on my end right now too. I have a button on my mouse that I should never push. Oh, you are proficient in Arcana, so you get a +8 to this.
Sweet.
That's nice. So that'll be.
No.
Wow, you rolled a 1.
Nice.
Did it.
So the let's see what happens.
Let's see
Okay.
what happens.
That's pretty awful. You.
The DM says.
Oh, use luck. You want me to use luck? I think you're probably used it all.
That's
Okay.
very likely.
No, that's fine.
So as you pick up the this amulet of the sphere and you try to sort of exert your control over this sphere, it you feel like you're immediately kind of in over your depth, and the sphere starts to move towards you.
I
Hey, Dan,
don't think I want it anymore. No thanks. I changed my mind.
you drop the talisman.
I don't know. How do I feel?
You feel like if you like it's like the sphere is probably 10 feet away from you right now, and you feel like if you could try again to sort of exert control over it, but if you were to fail, the thing's gonna hit you. Like it's coming at you.
Okay, well, I have 111 hit points.
And I'm ready to smack it with the staff.
Okay, let me try it again.
Okay. So roll this Arcana check at a +8. So we'll add 4 more to that.
Wait, casting the staff into a sphere. What is this? What is the sphere called?
The Sphere of Annihilation.
Oh, destroys both the staff and the life force trapped within it.
So, so you roll. Let's see, what did you get here? You
Should
roll.
we destroy it, Nayana?
19 plus a 4 is a 23, or 20 at 23. The sphere stops, like in front of you, and just kind of hovers there. And even though like you feel like you got it, like you felt like you got the flow, you were in the flow here. You still feel like controlling it and zipping it around the room the way a Sararak does is going to take a lot of practice. You're able to hold it still and it no longer wants to kind of come at you, but it's going to be
That's
some
cool.
work to get this thing under control.
Is that the thing that took out my ear?
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely want that thing. Okay, cool. It's mine. Yay.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, is there anything else we can take?
Wait. So the staff is saying each time a creature other than a Serac expends any of the staff's charge, there's a 50% chance Life Force tries to possess the staff wielder. So if I use it, is a 50% chance it's gonna take over me?
Absolutely.
Okay, well,
That's what that says.
I don't think I'll use it. I'll probably just carry it around then. Okay.
I think it's when you expend any of the staff charges.
Yeah, you can hit stuff with it, but if you try to look first and all the other things that it can do.
Okay. Rebel.
She's trying to help.
Yeah, right. No D&D for you.
I love her talking.
You said Nayana.
Oh,
Whoa!
there was some kind of echo there.
Eugene, your music is too loud. Turn it off.
Was that it?
It's Eugene going be-do-do-do-do-do.
I'm sure that's what it was. So what's up, guys? You guys looking over the items? Your friends just kind of crumpled in the corner. There's this misty gate to the south that you're not sure if a Sararak came through it or just kind of teleported into the room in front of it. But there's definitely this misty gate with all these skulls around it, sort of as the focal point of the south end of this room.
Well, I don't know. Before I can use the reincarnation spell, I need to get the rest thing going so I can change up my spells. But then I kind of want to see where he came from, but then I'm kind of worried that if we go there, what if there's like another one of them Sararak?
Yeah. I'm down to rest so that we can get these people up. I don't think we should leave their bodies anywhere.
Yeah, because Biff is still around, right? Biff and...
Yeah, presumably.
Yeah, and we don't have much left in us, so... Yeah, why don't we just take turns?
Okay.
Just the two of you gonna do a watch, because that's like so a long rest is right is 8 hours of sleep. Tyranny may or may not need that full 8 hours of sleep. She might be okay on a short rest, but Nayana's definitely gonna need to sleep for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, she doesn't need a short rest. She needs a long rest.
Yeah, she needs a long rest.
Oh, to change
I don't know
spells.
if you have any hit dice left though.
What does that mean?
You can't restore your life. But if you don't want to sleep, you can wait and then have Nayana heal you afterwards.
Can we
Well,
set groups, maybe?
I have full hit points, right?
You had what?
Full hit points.
I don't think so. We had a big long fight. I know
Right,
that
but
you're
every time we get 50 more, right?
Yeah, you have the temporary hit points from the trickster god. Sure, you have 50 hit points.
They go away after a long rest.
Okay. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. It's not a big deal. You guys take your long rest.
Okay, let's do a long rest.
So you're just kind of do the best watch that you can, knowing that you won't have someone conscious the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super creepy next to A, your dead friends, and B, these phylacteries. Like, you just, like, have these dreams that these liches could just appear. Like, you know the power of a lich now, and you just have these dreams that they could appear at any moment near you. But they don't. You just sleep through the night.
Good.
I'm glad to hear that. thought they couldn't pick
Are
anything
your
on.
spells the way that you want them?
And I think we were able to pull up the character sheet. No, I need to do the reincarnation spell. Reincarnation? Am I saying that right? Okay. Okay. What other spells would help resurrect the dead?
Reincarnation is your only choice.
Yeah, don't use that.
What level?
For clerics could have raise dead. Bards might have some sort of resurrection magic if they were, high level. But for you, reincarnation is sort of the only druidic way to sort of reattach a soul to a body.
Okay. Okay, so I did update that.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna go in order. Yeah.
Yeah, what does that do? How do you do that?
So Arias was the first to die. So I'm gonna go in order, and I'm gonna get to Arias first.
Okay. What do you do? What does that look like?
I don't know.
First of all, what is?
Why don't you
Let
play
me see the spell. You touch a dead humanoid or piece of humanoid. Provided that creature has been dead no longer than 10 days, the spell forms a new adult body for it and calls the soul to enter that body. If the target soul isn't free or willing to do so, the spell fails. The components are rare oils and unguents worth at least 1,000 gold pieces, which the spell consumes. So I'll say that in your looting of a dragon's lair and most of this tomb, you've found this kind of stuff, but we will deduct 1,000 gold pieces from the wealth of what you've got in your sort of bag of holding.
That's okay.
As you kind of go through and you find the bits and pieces that you think would be able to call Arias's soul back to this plane, right? So you will look at different oils and plants and herbs, and you maybe you go through his stuff and find little bits and pieces of his things that you think would work as viable substitutes.
What about the hags? Because the hags have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they've got a whole alchemy lab. So between all of that and what you've collected over your journey, you don't have exactly what a book would tell you to use, but you don't have a book that tells you how to do this either. This is a wisdom ability. This is you as the druid that you are, having gone through all of these trials in your journey. This is a spell that you are making up as you go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Do I choose the animal that he comes back as, or
you don't? So how do you want to go over to where he is, and you just kind of sort of prepare this ritual right here on this little balcony? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay. So while she's doing that, a lot happens to a soul after it's separated from its body. There's a whole journey that you go on. You appear at the Dead Man's Cross in the Shadowfell, and time works differently, but you traverse some amount of time and space before eventually, if you're lucky, you end up in some sort of afterlife with your god or whatever. At the point that has already happened, at the point that you are into your own afterlife, is about 10 days usually, which is why the resurrection spells at the level that you have specify that the dead has to be less than 10 days old, right?
Gotcha.
There are stronger magics that can pull someone even from that far, but that's not what we have here. Also, what the journey that you sort of take there is not something that you would remember if brought back to life, or even maybe after you get to the afterlife. It's like an in between, right? So you don't remember much of this should you come back, but the parts that you do remember, you are Arias, you are in Shadowfell, but it is far from Dead Man's Cross. You don't know if you walked, you don't know if you flew, you don't know if there's more than one Dead Man's Cross. But you find yourself atop a tall cliff, looking down into a dark and twisted version of Chult that you've spent, a lot of your life, a lot of your adventure wandering through these jungles, and you vaguely recognize it. But you think that you're up on the cliff tops of Umbala. I'm not sure if you were with the group when the group was in Umbala, but you can look down and you can see the Shrine of Oralunga where you first met the party. You can see the river where this T-Rex chased you. And you see on these cliffs, almost as if the earth has been pulled up and shapen by force, is this long stone bench. And sitting on one end of the bench is a tall, 9 foot tall, maybe, Chultan warrior with maze tattoos covering his skin. And he just sits on the edge of this bench looking down over the jungle.
Which area?
Over by him, like he's definitely on some other spirit trip.
Okay,
And
yeah.
Does he? Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna go over to him.
Yeah. And he looks at you, right? And as he does, he like moves his hand just like the smallest amount, and the bench that he's sitting on, made of stone, just like reshapes itself to like fit your proportions, like as someone who's like of normal size.
Right.
And he says to you, he says, "I never should have been a god."
Oh.
Well, that's not heartening for your cleric to hear.
He says, "I didn't earn this, and I wouldn't have taken it if I had known the weight of it."
Oh. You mean you didn't earn this?
He says, "When they came," he pauses. He says, "I built this." And he motions his hand out, and you're looking at this horrible Shadowfell version of Chult, but as he waves his hand in front of it, like in the wake of his movements, you see Chult as it is on the material, right? You see the jungle, and he says, "I built this." And then he pauses and he thinks for a second. He says, "We built this. And perhaps we built too much. Perhaps we reached too far. And when they came from across the sea, I sold my friend for godhood."
What?
Whoa.
How did you build it if you weren't a god?
He says, "There were many powers back then." He says, "I was a primordial. Dendar was a primordial. And this whole world could have been given to the primordials, but instead the gods won it. And all of this happened on distant shores. I did not know the cruelty and the ferocity of the gods. I just knew that I was given a choice, and I regret my decision."
But why did they give you the choice? Like, what was the point?
At this, yeah. So he says, "My friend Dendar, he he almost smiles as he's recalling the story of an old friend. He says, he ate the sun.
That's not that good.
Was it
And-
delicious?
You're not here.
But
he says,
who are you talking to?
he says, in hindsight, we should have found another way to solve the problem. But they were so convincing. At this point, he has shrunk. He is maybe just barely larger than you. And it all sort of happened without you noticing. His stone bench has shrunk with him. And he has this this paper box in his hand that has all these brightly vibrant colored mazes etched all over the sides of it. And it's shockingly bright and colorful here in Shadowfell, where there's almost no color. And it's about this time that you start to feel the tug of the material.
Oh.
That there is a passageway open for you back to the material. That you were unsure if that was like, this is the first that you've realized since dying that you left something behind.
So then I'll be like, oh, I think I gotta go. Should I? Are you gonna like be around if I? Should I keep worshiping you?
He says he hands you this box and he says, very few do. He says, I don't know. Cholt is beautiful. Cholt is grand. I don't know that Cholt needs me anymore. They've gotten along okay the last 200 years. Take this, and you don't open it until you'll know when to open it.
That's so cryptic.
What is it, like a box?
It's like a box. It's like it looks like a paper, looks like you put like a Christmas present in almost, right? Like it's like a thick, heavy paper, but it's not made out of platinum or anything. And it's sort of in the paper has been dyed and painted with all of these bright colors. You also know, looking at it, that it's not, you're not gonna, like, if you go back, you're not gonna have this box. Right? Like, it's not coming with you.
How do I open it?
He just says, I'm you don't want to open it the way that I did.
Oh.
Is it Pandora's box?
And at that Nayana, back to you. You have, through all of these oils and chants and prayers, have made this underneath this cloth, you have created this body that has sort of coalesced from the air. And I'd like you to roll some dice to tell me what this body looks like.
Uh-oh.
No pressure.
So
Female goblin incoming.
I need a 1d 100.
Oh, why does it look like this?
It's new.
I don't like it. 1D.
100.
It's coming.
Oh, it's just
It's
really
lagging.
slow.
Yeah. It's faster if you type it.
You type it? I like you doing that. Okay, you type it then.
Or you can get out real dice. I
Yes.
don't really care. I can also roll it for you, but maybe real dice if you're having. Okay. 38 is the number that I see.
Yeah. If it's bad, I can roll again.
No, we can't.
No, you can't.
Maybe a chicken.
So as you sort of pull the sheet off of this body that you've created, you see this that you have an adult male elf.
I'm an elf.
A high
Lucky. It could have been much worse.
It's
elf.
true.
And you've got this body here, and you can feel that there's a pressure in the room. There's a chill. There's a sort of like there's a moment of intensity and a moment of truth that you know that your ritual could work. You know that this could work. And on the other side of this door, I'm assuming Orias is willing to return.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Do I see that I'm an elf before I return?
I don't know. Show me a religion check.
A ghostly religion check.
Yeah. Mostly religion check. But you got to use your elf stats.
Oh.
It should be the same. It should be the same.
I don't even know what those are.
Yeah, it should be the same. Yeah, you feel this tug to the material plane, and the god that you're standing next to kind of nods at you as if to say that you should probably go, that there is work for you to do. Yeah, but you think that the body that you will be returning to is different. You feel like you don't have gills.
Right. I'm very hesitant. I don't know what to think, but I'm gonna go back.
So
wondering why I'm an elf.
yeah, so as this is happening, as you feel the soul bind to that body, Nayana, you and I have not had a resurrection in any of my games before, so this is probably news to everybody at the table.
Oh, cool.
But as you bind that soul to the body, it starts to drift away again, and then you pull it back, and it starts to drift again, and it's almost like paper blowing in the wind. You can't hold it there, and there's like a moment of panic before you have this realization that you have to anchor it, and there's a part of this ritual that you have to sacrifice something of your own in order to sort of pin that soul to that body. And to do that, you sort of take this small portion of Nayana's own soul and use it to pin Orias to this new body.
Is that worth it to you, Nayana?
I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna lose 3/4 of my soul now.
It's not that much. It's this tiny little piece. It's like the top post-it out of a
piece that was infected by Longo.
off of a post-it stack, right? It's just this top little piece. But then you kind of, while your soul is strong and anchored, you use it to hold him there, and then you almost just drive this sort of spirit nail through them, so that his soul can be anchored to this new form.
Get in that body.
And so you do this, and it takes a toll on you. You close your eyes and you do this, and both you and Orias know that if Nayana ever dies, so will Orias.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's a good thing she's a druid.
So now you have a bodyguard for life.
I guess you guys are stuck with me.
That's cool.
Oh man, no pressure.
And then Orias wakes up as a naked elf.
Yeah, this is
Gross. No, who is this?
Put some clothes on.
Orias is like, feast your eyes.
I'll be like, dude, this is gross. What is this body?
Yeah,
I know who it is.
You'll need to handle that. You'll need to handle adjusting your stats to the high elf stat block. You'll have to handle picking a high elf sort of racial trait all of that. Shouldn't be a fundamental change. Don't change any weapon or armor proficiencies because you don't have any sort of elven upbringing, right? You weren't trained in a longbow by an elf.
Right. What about languages?
I think that you would. Did you know Elvish before?
No.
Yeah, you probably don't know Elvish.
Okay. Awkward.
You do know Common though.
Idiot
You
doesn't even know
don't.
how to speak Elvish.
I know Celestial. I'll just pretend like I'm too arrogant to speak regular.
Yeah, yeah. So also, there's your soul is pinned by Nayana's. That's fine, but it also is sort of badly warped by this power word kill that you were hit with. You were hit hard and you died instantly.
Yeah.
So I want you to keep track of any time that you would gain temporary hit points forever, and you do not.
Temporary?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
temporary hit
gain
points.
temporary
You
hit
don't gain temporary hit points, but please keep a running tally of all of the temporary hit points that you would have gained.
Interesting.
He just wants to see how high he can get it.
Wait, do I still have like my regular hit points and everything.
Your regular hit points and everything is fine, but if you would gain temporary hit points, just jot that down on a notes sheet for me and sort of tell me how much it is if it ever gets more than a couple.
Okay.
But otherwise, besides you're exhausted, you're in an awkward body, you have sort of disadvantage on everything for a couple minutes until you kind of figure it out. You're here.
What about the spells that I could cast? None of that stuff, huh? Oh man.
What spells that you could cast? The Triton ones? No,
Yeah.
but you get the elf ones.
Oh, there's elf.
Nayana stands over you and she's like, "Hi, you can't rage now."
You totally can rage. Also, you still it's not a physical. It's not a physical thing that you have, but somewhere in the back of your mind or soul or heart is a closed box that contains the divine spark of a dead god.
Divine spark of what?
Of a dead god.
Somewhere I have it.
Like it's not a physical object on this plane like it was there, but there is a box that can be opened somewhere in the back of your mind that has this weak, flickering divine spark that once belonged to Ubta.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. You trusted the right person, Ubta.
That's awful. This is awful.
Trusted the right. Well,
The right. And, you're gonna be so sad the first time you see water.
I'm
Probably gonna
I'm
accidentally.
trying to breathe it.
You're gonna have like a massive addiction to water breathing potions.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Nayana, you're tired, but you think you can probably do it again? You got 2 spell slots, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but the next one would have to be at level. Wait, did we level up?
Yeah, you're level 11, so you should be able to do this 3 times because I think you have 2 5th level and a 6th level spell slot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you should be able to jam all 3 of these through if you want. It's gonna take its toll on you, but
Okay. Well, then we'll have more people to watch while I get back afterwards. Okay, let's do it again.
yeah. Who you doing?
Who died after Arias? Was it Folly?
I don't remember.
Who did
I
last?
think it was Mortee.
Okay. Was it? Okay, let's just do
I don't
it.
remember.
They're all within. You're not pushing your 10 days yet.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, Mortee, you're next. Well, he doesn't know that, but yeah. Okay, where is Mortee? Right
Yeah,
there.
where is Mortee? It's a really good question. Yeah. So I don't know. Again, like you don't remember the journey. You don't remember the walk. You don't remember any of these things. What you remember is that you're sort of standing in this infinite star field. There's just this like purple expanse all around you, this like infinitely dark purplish blue with all of these little pinpricks of light. This, star field that gazes out forever, and you're standing on a golden disc. And the golden disc is attached to a second golden disc by a gold. Like you're basically standing on one platter of a giant scale, right? Like that you would weigh something on. And up, coming from the middle of the scale, is a clenched skeletal fist. And you're not sure that if it's real, if it's bone, or if it's pearl, right? It's this very huge ornate scale that, as you look at it, the size of the platter that you're on is inconsistent. Sometimes you think it's barely enough for you to stand on, and other times it may as well be all of Chult, right? Like it just goes on forever.
Yeah.
And it's like impossible to sort of get a sense of the scale on. And as you look around here, as you're like looking around and taking this in, you start to see, kind of rising up from below you, is this like bubble, this like mass of souls, just millions of them, like everything that was stuck in that soulmonger just rushing up. And so within just a couple seconds, your entire vision is obscured by all of these souls rushing up and around you, and you can barely see the stars at all anymore because of this like thick soup. And it stays this way for several seconds. You want to do anything?
It just seems to be swirling around like the scales.
Yeah, like they seem to be moving past them. They seem to be coming from below you. As much as there is an up and a down, there is some gravity, right? Like you do stand on your feet. So coming from below you, just this mass of souls that all passes the scales and heads up to some other point up above you. But they all seem to be like passing through the space that you occupy.
Do I have both arms?
Oh, that's a really good question. You don't have your gargoyle arm. I think you probably just have your one arm.
Okay.
I mean, this is Mortee's sort of astral projection as it is. I don't know. I suppose you could will yourself to have a second arm if you want in this place.
I think I would look, like try and just hone in on anything that looks familiar among the souls. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know Arias died. At least he died, and I picked him up out of the thing. Like, maybe I'll look for him.
Sure. Let me see a perception check.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you're looking out into the abyss, and you're not sure that you could tell one soul from another. Like now that you look at them and they're outside of their bodies, right? It's not, you don't think that you would be able to recognize one that belonged to one person or another, not in this sort of free-flowing form. But as you're looking out at them, you notice that the far scale, the scale that you're not standing on, is now covered in small objects that seem to be getting bigger. there's like a young mother holding a baby. There's a flock of birds. There's like a small family of deer drinking at a river. There's like rolling hills of grass. There's a small town now, and it just gets bigger and bigger as you see all of these sort of things popping up and growing on the far side. There's like a pack of children laughing and playing tag, and it's all on the far side of the scale.
Okay, so it looks like life and death. I'm gonna climb and you say it's like almost like a bone hand holding.
Yeah,
holding the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna climb up that bone hand.
Okay, so you start to try to climb this thing in the middle. Give me an athletics check.
Athletics
Yeah,
check.
athletic.
With disadvantage because you have one arm.
You have one spirit arm?
Yep.
He's like,
Bro?
Didn't matter. So as you're climbing it, you think like you're making progress, but the weird non-Euclidean size of this place, like you feel like you make a lot of progress, and then there's just so much more to go, right? And you climb it for a while before it all gets very small. And the only way that you know or feel that everything is very small is that there's a figure standing next to you who is 30 times as tall as you. And this figure is wearing all black robes, and inside the robe is just a star field. It's just like a infinite expanse. And it reaches forward and with a bony hand picks you up effortlessly and drops you above the side of the scale that you were originally on. And as you fall, you see growing out of that side of the scale, you see an army of skeletons. You see vultures picking at a carcass. You see off in one corner, you see a Sararak reforming out of the mist.
No.
You see the red wizards chanting around a strange altar, and you fall to the ground and you hit the ground with a thud. And then in this voice that speaks in Celestial, which you understand here, whether you do normally or not, it's of a chorus of voices. It's a young girl, an old man, and everything in between, all speaks at the same time. And it says, "Give me one reason I should let you leave here, Necromancer."
Ooh.
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 And it's about this time that you feel the call of the material plane, like a string tied around you, starting to pull on you.
And I'll say
G2G.
My impacts on the world, the universe, have not been actualized yet. You know the potential that I have.
It says, it's the potential that concerns me, Mortee.
Damn.
If you were to be judged today, and he motions over at the side of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, another year on the material, and you're surrounded instantly by like these, grotesque undead armies. You see a Sararak standing over you. You see Vecna. You see all of the worst necromancers and liches.
Or best.
He says, I am deeply concerned with what you might be. I don't know if you know who I am. says, "Things have changed here, Necromancer." And he reaches forward and he kind of grabs this string that's tugging you back to the material. And then lets go. And says, "Go. But if you come here again, you will not leave."
Oh,
Woo!
what'd you pick off?
The god of death. I think. Do I think that that's the god of death?
Yeah, you think that this is Kellumbor, the current god of death, as opposed to Merkel, the last god of death, who would have probably accepted you with open arms.
Yeah.
With arms wide open.
Under the sunlight.
And so, you feel this tug of the material, and Nayana can roll to see what body she's created you.
Don't get mad at me with
It's
my
1d100.
It just says rolling the dice.
I don't know what you guys from. I can roll it for you. Oh, there it goes. Hey, that's what you wanted, right? That's a little bit of what you wanted.
I should have rolled. Sorry, Arias.
Okay. So you hit the unusual race category, and I'll need another 1d100 from you.
Ooh,
Wow.
something weird's happening.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
No, don't say oh man.
So the body, as she pulls the sheets away, and honestly, like Kellumbor, as he watches you go, there's like a moment where like he shrugs and nods as if maybe this new form is cursed enough. Maybe.
Uh-oh.
And as she pulls the sheet away to see the body that's coalesced from the ether, it is feathered. It is a small, maybe halfling-sized feathered body with black or dark navy featherings and a large yellow beak. And
Oh my.
and I don't know if you've ever. I don't know. This is great. You are a Kenku.
Wait, I'm sorry. You lagged out there for a second.
You
Say
are a
that again?
Kenku.
Kinky.
Kenku.
It's a crow person.
Oh.
But the worst part is that they are cursed by the gods to not be able to speak. They can only repeat exact phrases that they.
Oh my god.
Like a parrot mimicking the things, except that they can do it perfectly.
Oh,
So you have
jeez.
to sort of take a log of the things that you've heard, and it comes out in the voices of the people that said it.
Wow. So
Now-
forever though.
I mean, that is his race. You can read all about Kenku. Here, I'm going to pull this into the game.
But I mean, like,
guys.
he remembers
Like,
the
you
phrase.
rolled it.
Oh, yeah.
You rolled
He
it.
has a list of phrases for as long as he wants. Also, despite having wings, you cannot fly.
Rip.
That's pretty great.
Real fast. You get 2 dexterity and 1 wisdom. You are medium. Your base walking speed is 30. You get proficiency in acrobatics, deception, stealth, and sleight of hand. You can perfectly mimic anything that you've heard. I don't know. There's a thing here, and you can read about Kenku. They're really, really weird and kind of cool. And I love the fact that Kellumbor put you in a Kenku body.
Yeah.
And I love the quest that Mortee will go on from this point forward is awesome. You can cast all of your spells. There's no penalty. There's no verbal component issues. You can make all of the sounds you need for your spells.
Okay, great.
It reminds me of Robin Hood.
Am I have somebody read my spells off? So that
No, that's all fine. Because you can kind of click and chirp, and any language is enough to cast spells, right? Like you can cast spells no matter what your language is, as long as you can make some sound. But to communicate with other people, you can write if you'd like, because you did grow up knowing language, so you definitely know how to write, and so you can write.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Since he's not used to this body size, does he like march around? Because now he's like 90 pounds and 5 feet tall.
Yeah, he's not big.
And he's used to like having to be, yeah.
He's a lot more dexterous now, though.
Yep. We'll have to figure that out. Also, the death lingers on you much the way that it does on Orias, and you have, until further notice, disadvantage on death saves. And I would like each time you roll a death save for you to mark that down and keep track.
Oh.
As Kellamvor, watches over you closely.
Question: because he's an animal now, can Nayana cast speak with animals?
That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
He's an intelligent creature.
I'm sure he is.
Nayana pets him. Oh, hi, buddy.
I'm gonna fill my water, and then we're gonna do it.
Upon feeling that, Mortee would false life it.
Oh,
Rip.
man. You're Kenku? I thought rolling high was a good thing.
I wanted a weird race, but
What
a little much.
do you mean?
You?
Yeah.
You're like a version of Honeydew.
You just have to call me back, Mortee. Is that you? You haven't heard anything else yet, right?
Oh dear.
This is rough.
No, he's heard hi, little guy.
Oh yeah.
Nayana.
He would probably be super grumpy, casting spell, and then start going.
Worth mentioning that Mortee's old body is still there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait, and start doing what, Dan?
Getting all his stuff from his other body, and then
you have to do that. Okay.
And then preparing to push his old body into the lava.
Bro?
Oh.
No, it's like a ritual thing. It's like life and
Oh.
death.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm gonna get all this stuff off my body now that you mention it.
Yeah, for sure.
And false life at max level.
Yeah, you got some life. It just comes out as a weird squawk, but the weave doesn't seem to care.
Perfect.
Oh, man, you did say you liked the weird races.
I did.
That's up there, dude.
That's up there for sure.
This is hilarious.
Oh my
you went
God.
from one animal to another.
Yeah, I'm just using the chart that you linked to me the other day.
Yeah, no, I got you.
This is your fault.
Yeah.
This is your fault. Oh, man.
God, that's really funny. Yes, Kellamvor watches over you, and you have disadvantage on death saves, but keep track of how many you roll this week.
Yeah. That's rough.
Rip.
Are you saying the god's name is Kelly Moore?
Kelly Morph.
Spelled like that.
Close. You spelled my name wrong.
I mean, you can be the god of death if you want. That's super cool.
I want to go to bed.
So,
What?
are we doing Folly? Is that next?
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's do Folly.
Cool.
Wouldn't it be funny if Folly was like Kenku too?
I mean, yes.
Bro? Bro? Can you not?
Hey man, I'm bringing you back to life. Be grateful. I've yet to hear a thank you from anybody. Okay, let's go.
That's that's super true.
The crow hasn't heard the word thank you yet, so.
Right, the crow literally can't.
This
So
Elias,
true.
is that you? No. Mortee, is that you? Or thank you, guy.
That's great. Okay, so you're gonna do folly now.
Yeah, let's do folly.
Okay, folly, you. Much like the others had your own journey, right? And you end up at this sort of almost like fountain, but it looks like it might be made naturally. You're somewhere very far from home. Everything is, it's like as if everything was made naturally. The rocks were eroded naturally, or shaken up by some, force. The plants all grew naturally, but it's almost like they grew in the way that a gardener would ask them to, if you could just ask the plants to do what you wanted. And the rocks have eroded in the way that a sculptor might ask them to, if he were sculpting a beautiful courtyard fountain. There's no direct sign of sort of human hands, but yet everything, like you walk just away from this fountain, which seems to be powered by some natural geyser beneath the earth, and there's a forest sort of surrounding it on three sides and a mountain surrounding it on the fourth, and the forest has paths that it has grown, right? They're not paths from heavy footfalls. They're paths where the trees decided not to be there because it would be more convenient to you if they were not. And at this fountain, there is just all manner of interesting and unusual creatures. Many of them look like halflings to you. They dance and they eat of, again, as if no human had put it there, but as if a tree has bowed down to provide a table upon which fruits grow. And people gather around and they sing and they dance and they eat of these fruits. And through the party, sort of on the other side, drinking out of this beautiful, picturesque lake, is a unicorn.
Rainbow.
Forever.
Well, so I run into the. Is it a clearing, Ben? You said?
It's like a clearing.
Okay.
But again, like everything is just this way. It's not natural. It's not a perfect circle, but it is what a perfect circle would look like if the forest decided to grow a perfect circle.
Okay. Yeah, so then I enter and I say, "Hey guys, where am I?"
Yeah. Rainbow saunters over to you and sort of, speaks to you, just opening that hoarse mouth, and just words come out that you can understand. You think she's speaking Celestial, but I don't know if you know Celestial.
No, I'd have to use tongues.
You do now.
Yeah.
Maybe, just the way that this place is.
Cool.
And she says, "Folly, I didn't expect you so soon. Please come eat. Are you here to stay?"
Maybe. How did I get here? I was fighting people and then there was a Serac and then there was
Serac. it seems like it's like the whole sort of party skips a beat, right? Everyone like whatever like music, which isn't music, it's the wind blowing through the trees that just creates this music, right? Everything just kind of stops for a second, and then Rainbow shakes her head, and everyone goes back to their merriment. And Rainbow says, "But a Sararak is surely the device is destroyed, the fountains run again, the forests sing again, and because of this we celebrate.
Oh, thank God.
And this is all because of you."
Oh, well, thank me.
I wish that the rest of the party could be asked that. Oh.
So how did I get here?
I was going to ask you.
Oh, well.
Are you... She says, "I have given you many gifts. Have you used them well, Folly?"
Which gifts?
I mean, are you lying to her, or do you not understand the statement?
Yeah, I don't really understand what gifts.
She's basically saying that all of your warlock powers.
Oh, the warlock powers. That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Are a gift.
Yeah. I say I use them to the best of my abilities, and I think that's what helped me deal with the Sararak, actually.
She nods. It is... You did well. If you think that you have done enough, you may stay.
Well, what more do we need to do?
If you have no further ambition.
Oh. I mean, if there's any more secret doors or, things to open, gold skulls to speak to, I gladly keep doing that.
She's quiet for a minute, and then... Folly, I don't give my gifts to many. I expect great things of you. And sort of at this, she smiles and she says, "Well, while you're here, enjoy the party."
Awesome. And I go start to frolic through the clearing.
For sure. You're there for a couple minutes when you feel the tug of the material.
Oh.
You have a second. Explore the space.
Yeah. I go up to Rainbow after a bit, and I say, "Rainbow, I think it's something's having me leave. I want to say bye."
She says, "You will do great things with the gifts that I've given you. You will do great things for me. Did you... I guess probably there's not like an immediate she doesn't say anything, but you find in your own pocket a small black box, and you know that that Rainbow put it there, and it is intended to be a gift for Rainbow. That you are expected to give it to her.
Wait, who put it there? Sorry.
You think Rainbow put it there? You think that, like...
Wait, Rainbow put a gift?
Yeah, she's pausing, waiting for you to give her something, but you think she put the thing there in the first place.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, then if I kind of know that, then I assume it's basically not even mine anyways in the first place. So I go ahead and present it to Rainbow.
Okay, cool. And she takes it telepathically, sort of levitates it away, and she says, "Thank you. I will keep this. I will keep this until I see you next, and then you can have it back.
Okay.
Don't come here until you've done great things."
Is there anything specific you wanted from me?
She says, I would very much like to shape your world without anyone, without, you know what you're good at. I want to be everywhere without anyone knowing that.
Okay. I will do my best.
I want, and she just, the way that she describes it, I don't know that I could, but it's so flowery and this beautiful image of this kingdom, of this like this picturesque village. There's people, like much like this party that you're at. They're dancing and they're happy, and you're not in the picture, but you know that you're pulling these strings and you're making this. You know that when you look at this picture that she's describing to you, she's using words and sort of telepathic images and projections. It's describing this big and beautiful kingdom, but it's all hers. It's all rainbows. And you're the one pulling the strings.
So my interpretation of that, and I don't know if you want to adjust whatever, but would be that she wants me to kind of spread the word of rainbow and also like just make the general world, like the material plane, a better place, happier place, a more rainbow-esque place. Or is that more of a literal image, vision she's looking for?
No, that you think that all of that is maybe more secondary. Rainbow wants that what Rainbow thinks is right, projected onto some kingdom on the material plane. She wants this that you're witnessing forced upon.
Oh wow. Okay.
She doesn't want her name stamped on it.
Okay, right.
She wants you in the shadows doing your bard thing.
to have that realized.
To do it.
Interesting.
She's very happy that the fountains flow and Acererak has been punished, and now she can begin to build her kingdom, and she's not done with you.
Oh damn.
And you don't know how much of a choice you have.
Interesting.
You have a pact.
Okay.
Did Folly just become evil?
It's like if the Care Bears became evil, or like kind of power hungry and like
power hungry, maybe evil. Rainbow thinks that this is the best for people. It's a warped and strange good and love for others, but Rainbow is definitely different a little bit than the last time you talked to her.
Interesting. Can I get a insight check on like kind of generally what alignment she might be right now?
Yeah, you're
in her ask. Just kind of get a better, more fleshed out understanding of what the hell is going on.
You don't know if this is a different, you don't think it's a different creature. You think it's the same creature you've had your pact with and that you've spoken to a couple times in weird ways,
Mhm.
but you think that there is a level of trust that has increased, that she's more faithful, that you will be able to carry out that vision. And you're not sure if it's always been the vision. When you think about it, she picked you, and you were already, you weren't the upstanding gleaming armor paladin back then either.
Right.
And so you start to wonder why you. And maybe you don't wonder so much.
Interesting. Okay. Wow.
Step into your destiny.
Okay, cool. So you wake up on the other side, and Nayana's gonna roll you a new body.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Caw-caw!
Oh boy, unusual race.
Oh
Let's
god.
get another one of those.
Another
roll
roll?
it again.
That's interesting. You are a dragonborn.
What?
That's cooler than a Kenku. Sorry.
Does Nayana
you-
say that out loud when it's real?
She pulls it away. Wow, that's nicer than a kenku.
He says nicer than a kangaroo. Exactly the way Nayana does.
Yeah, exactly. She just repeats that. He repeats that exactly. I need a D10, and I'll let you roll this one, Folly, as you roll for your color. 6. You're a gold dragonborn.
Oh wow. Interesting. Huh.
Which-
What's gold's elemental wise?
fire?
Oh, fire? Oh shit.
They're the
Yeah,
most powerful of the good ones, right?
They're up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I think the dragonborn base is kind of like pretty balanced, but
Yeah.
but yeah, you're a gold dragonborn, gleaming golden scales, and you look at it and like you think that this is a gift from Rainbow, that no one mistrusts a golden dragonborn.
Oh no.
Wow.
Yeah, this is like, it's like you're in a disguise already.
Oh my god. Wait, should I change the race in my sheet then?
Yeah, you should.
Nice.
You're gonna reduce your racial benefits and then re-increase.
Yeah, so you'll have to figure that out. You'll have to lose what you had for being a halfling and gain what you would have for being a
Gotcha.
dragonborn.
But not like anything that might be learned stuff.
Right, exactly. We'll have to play it
Gotcha.
by ear. If you have any questions, ask me. If also when you gave that gift to Rainbow, you only realize now that you gave her. Let me see 1d8 from you.
You gave her 8/8 of your soul.
Uh-oh.
You gave her 2 years of your memory,
Whoa.
and
Like a
so I'd
chunk
like-
or like
yeah, like a chunk.
oh
Like,
whoa.
there's like a missing. There's like a missing part of your past, and because of that, you're going to lose proficiency in some skill that you learned during those 2 years.
2 years of my
Is it
memory.
like the most recent 2 years, or
No, it's like maybe back when he was on the streets or as a slave or whatever that.
Okay.
Rainbow was probably very picky about what she picked. I don't have your whole backstory, right? But one of your proficiencies that you learned during that 2-year period, you are now no longer proficient in it. You can still use Jack of
Jeez.
all trades,
Sure.
right? You're a bard. And I'd like you to keep track of every time you roll that skill.
Keep track of what? Oh, every time I roll the
That
lost
skill that you
proficiency?
forgot, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. So if you chose performance, then every time you make a performance check, let me know.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
just pick one of your proficiencies. Okay, you guys all get up. You guys all
Hooray!
pull yourselves together in new and weird forms.
Welcome
gather-
back, weirdo.
Gather your equipment.
Do I have both arms?
Do you want both arms?
No.
Or wings,
Then
should
you
you
have one.
say?
I think he has arms and wings, or are they wing arms?
I think they're
Gotta be
arms.
wing arms.
Actually, you have no wings.
They're arms.
Yeah,
Right?
they're
Hold on,
arms.
I'm gonna look at what is it called again?
A kenku, Kenku. Here's a page on it that I pulled up.
Ah.
That one's a rogue. You don't quite look like that, but
What kind of advice is that?
It's good
Because-
advice.
it's good advice in a city with kenku.
Ooh.
I like how at the bottom of the Kenku ticket it says if you're role playing a Kenku, constant attempts to mimic can come across as confusing and irritating. Just
Yeah.
describe what you're saying.
For sure. So there's an assumption at the table after a little bit, especially after a session or two, that we actually have Mortee at the table. Well, there's an assumption that he has words that can communicate basic ideas, and you don't have to do it all the time. But we'll see.
If I did that spell that gives us telepathy,
Yeah, you could speak completely free.
yeah, so that'd probably be a soon to learn thing for Mortee.
Who are you trying to speak to?
You guys.
Oh.
So good. So we have an elf, we have a Kenku, and we have a gold dragonborn wake up after the resurrections. You're exhausted, Nayana. That was, you didn't know that you could bring back the dead, and here you did it 3 times. Also, all 3 of you have your souls affixed to your bodies by a tiny little bit of Nayana's. There's this little spike through her little soul fragment that grounds yours to your body, and you all 3 know, like in your heart, you know that if Nayana were to die, so would you.
I'm gonna be looking through my religious studies at some point to figure out how to deal with that.
I mean, one
just-
way immediately comes to mind, which is die and be resurrected by a different person.
Well,
So,
But then I would just be tied to that other person.
yes.
can I resurrect myself?
Talk to Mortee about that. That's,
think
I mean,
the
that's
word-
pretty much what a Sararak did.
I think the words that you're looking for is thank you and you're welcome.
Folly's like, I'm very worried, Nayana. You get hurt a lot.
I hurt a lot?
You get hurt a lot.
No, I don't.
In fights.
You're the one that died. Remember? You're
Wait,
the one I had to bring back.
Wait. Also, do we get our limbs back? I forget. I think you answered it for Mortee, but
If you want to, if you consider a missing limb part of your soul, like perhaps Mortee does, because he made this like decision, right? Like it's like part of his character is that he did that intentionally.
right.
So in his case, maybe he doesn't get his arm back.
I see.
But those of you that like, if it was incidental damage in the battle,
Thank you.
I
Gotcha.
did it on purpose.
He had. I mean, one of us had to lose our arms to get out of that room, and he wanted the hat.
It's true. It's a good hat.
It's a good hat.
He's like an in-between bird.
Does he still have the hat?
sorry, the hat.
The crown.
The crown, yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been on.
I mean,
it would have been on the.
It would have been on. Yeah, it would have been on the turtle body. You can pick it up on the Kenku.
Yeah.
It matches your wings.
Thanks.
You can wings.
I don't think he has wings, but
And so then Mortee the Kenku will cast levitate
Oh.
and
and flap his arms.
no,
Oh.
levitate is the turtle body and give him the final rites and then lower him into lava.
Oh.
Yeah, so yeah, you guys can take anything you want off of your old bodies. Armor, all of that. You probably look a little weird wearing armor sized for a very different person, but you can make it work and get the stat bonuses of it and all of that.
I was basically an aquatic elf, actually, so this is gonna work out size-wise for me.
Yeah, true.
This is severely different for
A
me.
little trouble, but she didn't have much anyways. So
Oh, Folly?
yeah.
Yeah, Folly didn't have much anyways.
It's true.
But yeah, now she's probably like 6 feet tall. You know, lean.
Oh yeah, should I roll those too?
Bard. You guys are free to roll that stuff. Let's not take everyone's time.
Yeah.
Let's move on with our session. But yeah, I mean, hopefully dying was cool. Hope you guys all enjoyed dying.
Yeah, it was great.
That was great.
Nayana looks at Folly and Arias and she goes, "Huh, it's like you guys traded places or bodies."
Kind of true.
Yeah, kind of.
Because
one is skinny.
Just because our bodies are different doesn't mean we're the same.
Bro?
Bro? Because she's saying that
totally right.
because a dragonborn's weird and a merman's weird, we're basically place.
I see. Just because they're different from the normal.
Yeah.
Excellent.
More
Wow.
different than normal. Pushes his old self into the lava.
It's so good. Oh, okay. So what's up, guys? What do you want to do? How you guys gonna get out of here? You can use your old tokens for today, because I don't want to re-token you.
Yeah.
Should we try going through that door? Is that door still there?
The one on the south?
Yep, it's still there. It's a misty sort of gateway.
Without saying anything, I'm gonna pick up Orias's Triton form and motion towards the lava.
Oh. Yeah. That body liked fire. It's a fitting place to go.
Current body likes fire too. That's just part of your soul.
But it's alive.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. He's actually resistant to cold as body. I guess his soul isn't there, so maybe not fire.
But I mean, yeah, whatever you guys want to do. You just leave it.
No, throw it in there. I don't want to be raised from the dead when one of these liches comes back.
And
darn,
when you say that, Mortee will say, "I don't want to be raised as one of the dead."
Yeah.
Aww. Maybe we can like throw Mortee back into the lava and see if I can like resurrect him again.
Bro?
Just like turn.
Mortee looks at you and
body.
and puts Arias's new body between you and him.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, no, Mortee probably does not want to go visit Kellenborg at the moment.
No,
yeah, that's true.
Wait, you don't want to raise your own body and be like, "Hey, this is Mortee. I'm Mortee. We're both Mortees."
You make a good point. I might keep.
You already shoved him in the lava.
You're right. I did.
I mean,
Yeah.
You could have raised deaded him.
No, I wouldn't do that, but I might keep just a little piece. Just
shell.
A little piece.
No, I think all of it goes.
Yeah. Start fresh.
Start fresh.
Yeah.
Oh man, guys, this is really weird.
Go for your final swim, Arias's body.
And what are you doing with Follies? Same thing?
Folly. Yeah, I mean, at this point, her body's pretty fucking mangled by the orb of destruction or annihilation or sphere.
Yeah, she's messed up.
Yeah, so Folly's probably just like, well, I'm not going back to that body. And definitely throws the body into the lava with the rest.
You notice that you're strong.
Yeah, yeah, I'm 2 points stronger.
Yeah. This is not hard. You're strong.
Hell yeah. And then I turn to everyone else and I'm like, so how do we get out of here?
To the
There's a misty gateway to the south.
you wanna
Oh, the
investigate
gateway, that's right. Yeah.
this blue thing right here?
Yeah. Alright guys, I'm done with this place and I just want to be sitting in a warm, cozy inn with some ale and music. Let's go.
Sounds good
Let's
to
go.
me.
Okay, who's stepping
Let's
through
hope
first?
this portal takes us to that place.
So Folly heads in first, of course, per usual.
Brand new body. Brand new body. Okay, Folly is annihilated.
New body, who this?
You appear here.
Oh god. Oh god.
And I'll tell you what's here.
Who are those people?
Yeah, it's weird.
Wait, I didn't. Oh, there.
Oh, jeez.
Nayana's tired. She's like, no, I'm okay.
Yeah. You're probably all actually very tired in one way or another.
Do we back out slowly? Where we came in?
So what you see is you step out of the mist into some underground chapel. There's black basalt pillars and a polished obsidian altar. Beyond the altar, a heavy black drape hangs from an archway. On the altar is a leather bag the size and shape of a human body, which appears to have been sewn shut.
Oh.
8 emaciated, green-skinned creatures are shackled to the walls of the chapel, each one gazing toward you with a single baleful eye. The monsters begin to gibber and drool as they shake their manacles, eager to be set free.
What?
Couldn't
That's
they
weird.
Could we talk to them?
Yeah, they just all yammer and gibber at once, and they're like, Sararak, please, we've been good. Let us go. We've been so good to you, Sararak.
Are these the gods? There's 8 of them. Or how many gods were there?
There are 9.
Oh.
They look like
I'm gonna be following Folly in.
Nothic. Huh. Can I step back through the mist?
Yeah.
Okay, I step back through the mist.
And you're back in the cradle of the death god.
And I go, guys, there's some creatures. Do you remember the Nothics? We did the Nothics in this campaign, right? I think.
No, the Nothic was one of the first big bads you fought in Last Mine of Fandover.
Oh, that was
These are
Fandover.
behaving a little differently. That Nothic was trying to get in your head. These just seem like they're warped, deformed people, and they're just trying. They just want to be let free.
Oh.
And when you come in, they just kind of pull on their shackles and please let us go.
So I say, guys, there's some wretched creatures shackled up in the next room. Help me deal with them. They seem harmless so far.
So far.
And then I step back through.
Yeah.
And I say, what are you guys?
They struggle to come up with any names at all. One of them eventually says, I was the Daryl the blue. Daryl the blue.
Blue.
Were you wizards?
You see a couple of them like think about this. Yeah. No. It's been so long. Sararak promised so much.
What did he promise?
Wealth, power, immortality.
Were you guys
This
liches?
must be one of his trials.
Were you guys liches? Adventurers?
One of them, that seems to be the most cognizant, laughed and said, Lichdom. A Sarawak will give us lichdom. Yes, that is why we are here.
Oh.
Another one like starts to cry from this one big eye, and he says, "A Sarawak has left us here, fools. We will stay here until we wither into nothing."
Aw.
I just feel like they're greedy and they're not going to do anything good for us.
Let us go. Let us go.
Yeah, I tell them.
What do you seek? Riches? The way out? We know all.
Are you going to hurt other people? Like, what is your goal here? You want to be something bad. Liches are bad.
We just want to be let free from our shackles.
I don't know.
And there's also this weird, creepy leather bag up on the altar.
What's in the bag?
I don't know. You want to walk over there?
Can I start with casting a detect?
Yeah, there's hella magic, man. The gate behind you is, got, I think it's evocation for teleportation magic. The Nothics themselves just have this like aura of necromancy and transmutation all over them. The altar like has some abjuration magic in this bag, and then you can sense more magic from behind the curtain.
Ooh.
Do they know what's in the bags?
Is you asking them?
Yeah.
One of them says, let me see. One of them says, the round man.
What?
The what?
The round?
Another one laughs and says, he has books, but there's nothing in them. There's no magic, there's no spells. What's the point? Why is he here?
What?
Let us go. We're helping you, see? We can help you. We can tell you which path to take. Do you want riches? Do you want the way out? You're so close.
Both.
Huh.
Should we just stand for you?
One of them looks at Folly and says, "You haven't. Your body is new. How do I get a new body? This one is so withered and weak." It pulls on its shackles. Let me out.
Well, we can show you step one to getting a new body.
What's over here at the end of
It's like a big dark blue curtain.
Oh, that okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna cast Phantom Force or Phantasmal Force on one of these, and basically with it, I'm going to make the Daryl the blue. No, wait. The one who says lichdom, who confessed about lichdom, believe that a Sarak is in front of them.
Okay, it's a wisdom save.
Int save.
Ooh. Probably still don't have it. 15.
15?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Jesus. Yeah, barely missed. Yep.
So he sort of pulls himself as much as he can. He's shackled up to the wall pretty bad. He pulls himself into like a genuflect sort of position. He says, Acererak, we, your disciples, have been true for so long. Have you come to release us?
And then I have the illusion basically say, what have you done recently to deserve being released?
We waited patiently. They're shackled to the walls.
Remind me why I shackled you here.
Yeah, remind me why I shackled you here. Yeah. It's been so long since I've shackled you here.
Yeah, we were among your most devoted followers on this world. You brought us here with the promise of further studies. We have waited here since.
And then
does this amuse you?
And then I make the illusion like Acererak is thinking, and then I turn to my party and I'm like, guys, these guys obviously evil, but also obviously pathetic right now.
I mean, compared to us, but
ask them where they came from before. Like, where did Acererak bring them from?
Oh yeah, so then Acererak points to the Lichton one and says, "You, where did you come from?"
Yeah, and they'll all answer in turn. They're all different places all over the Forgotten Realms. Just different cities that you've heard of. One studied in Everlund, one from deep within the Underdark, one from a small island in a remote, endless sea. Like, they're all just from different places, and they all seem to have been wizards or some warlocks of some talent that found Acererak somewhere in the multiverse and begged him for patronage.
So they basically served Acererak, which means we should get rid of them.
Which means sitting here shackled to a wall, apparently.
Yeah.
Acererak never, like, you kind of tease this information out. Acererak never gave them much of anything. He took them here, he turned them into these beasts, and he left them. Or in some cases, decades.
That's weird. That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's such a weird thing.
Yeah, like, why would he go? Why would he spend the time doing that?
But I say, either way, we should probably get rid of them if they wanted to work with the Acererak.
Yeah, I mean, they're pitiful to us, but to an average person, they're probably dangerous.
So you just want to go execute them one by one?
Yep.
We don't need to do it one by one. Mortee?
Maybe.
Yeah, you size them up like from an arcane standpoint, and you're thinking they've got about 45 hit points.
Yeah, a good fireball probably.
Easy.
Land a good one.
Yeah. Sure, a good fireball.
Okay, you're somewhat concerned about the leather bag on the altar taking 2 fireballs, or 1 fireball, or whatever it ends up being.
Oh yeah, there's a leather bag on the altar. Well, they're chained up. Let's ignore them and go check out stuff.
Yeah, let's go check out the rest of it real quick.
Okay, leather bag seems about the size of a human. It's been sewn shut. It doesn't have a zipper or anything. It looks like it's permanently been sewn shut, but it's got 2 handles. So you can carry it.
The size of a human?
Yeah.
Like
Nope.
It's like a body bag, yeah.
Yeah, nobody describes a bag that way unless they're supposed to be a bag.
True.
That's fair. That's fair.
Why you gotta put it that way?
Why you go, hey, you gotta come at me like that? Yeah, you think just looking at it like up close, you think it's totally a dude in it.
All right.
Let's open it.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I don't
we
know,
found it.
Folly. The last time you said, yeah, why not? I ended up dying, so.
Wow.
We're here now.
Yeah, we're good. Didn't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Throwing that
I still haven't
shade.
heard a thank you from any of y'all.
Well, I am not amphibious anymore, and it's gonna take me a while to get over.
You're still alive.
It's true.
How you guys opening that bag?
Cut it open.
Just want to knife it open. Pull a
Wait,
dagger.
do you want to open it in this room?
Knife
I
it.
think so.
There's a reason it's in this room with these guys.
They said someone
I
been
love,
there.
love how paranoid you guys are after 6 levels of a Sararak.
Yeah, what's up with that?
No, this is like the chest at the end of a dungeon. Our reward is inside.
Oh.
Okay,
There's someone
okay.
in there though.
Why don't you go ahead and open it then?
Yeah.
All right, I pull out my knife. I pull out my trident-shaped knife and start cutting it open.
Okay. Just it's wet inside.
Ew.
Gross. And plopping out of the bag is someone that you probably don't recognize, but maybe a couple other people in the group do. Unconscious and laying on the ground in a heap is Volothamp Getter,
Ghetto?
Who's that guy?
the author of Volo's Guide to Monsters and
Oh.
the Monster Manual.
Oh no.
No.
The same one that we ran into in
Same guy he ran into in Portney and Zoro. And did you guys steal a book? You guys bought a book, I think.
Yeah,
yeah,
bought
he
a book.
played it.
Yeah, he signed it. He's just laying there in an unconscious heap.
But he's alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so? You're not sure what the bag was doing because there's obviously no air in the bag or not enough, but it seemed like he was in some sort of stasis and now is breathing but unconscious on the ground outside of the bag.
Should we wake him up?
Let's look at what's behind the curtain first.
Okay.
There is let's the opposite of what I wanted to do, but you guys are fine. Behind the curtain is a 10-foot wide, 45-foot long hallway set with 4 decorative archways that have blank walls within them. 3 paths marked out in red, gold, and purple tile snake along the floor, each leading to one of 3 archways. A charred skeleton on the floor points towards the 4th archway, which has no path leading to it. A single torch burns in a wall sconce on the far end of the hall. Mounted below it is a bronze plaque that bears a warning in comment. Behold the fate of those who defy me. And as you pull the curtain, all these Nothics in the other room are like, yes, we can tell you, we can talk. What do you seek? We'll tell you which path.
Oh. How about you just tell us which paths do what?
That's not the way it works.
Now, is that the DM speaking or?
No, that's nothing.
And now,
Good.
Shocking Grasp 1. Be like, why don't you tell me what all the different paths are?
Yeah, let me see an attack roll.
Yeah.
So you grab a hold of it. First of all, it has 15 AC. So you grab it, and it let's say you have advantage. It's restrained. Let me see an advantage roll.
Okay.
So you start to shock it, and it pulls away, and then it just starts to scream in this weird guttural language, and it just yells, "They hurt us! They hurt us! They hurt us!" And all 8 of them start to turn their eyes towards you, and their eyes start to swirl with this strange magic. And I need you guys to roll initiative.
Ooh.
We should have killed them all.
I mean, we're gonna.
That's about to happen, I think.
It won't be that bad.
But without.
Fireball him.
I have a feeling this won't last long, but just in case. I'm going to clear the initiative again. Sorry if you already rolled.
I don't see my token.
I am much more dexterous now.
I haven't done.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can use your old stats-ish. You know, it's like not a... Hopefully you drop a fireball and this thing happens, but they did roll a 22, which is a cool number.
Cool.
Aye, that's for sure.
Who are we missing on this initiative track?
Mortee and Nayana. Hold on.
Cool.
I'm getting there. Oh.
It's kind of hard sharing a laptop. Sorry.
No, it happens. All right, Mortee, what is your...
Oh, so that was Nayana's 9.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll fix it. Just put both in.
Really?
I'll fix it.
I think it was yours.
Always.
So,
This laptop is rough.
oh god.
How bad?
No.
Okay, I got you guys. Okay, so they all take a look at Mortee, who's shocking grasping one of these guys, and they all start to do this rotting gaze, which is the only thing they can do. Is they're restrained. They just point these awful eye beams at you, and they're gonna all 8 make a rotting gaze attack against Mortee. So I need, I need 8 Constitution saving throws from Mortee.
Okay.
Oof.
Each of these 8 Constitution saving throws that you roll below a 12 is going to do 10 necrotic damage to you.
Ouch.
Nayana's like, well, if you die, maybe I can bring you back as something cooler.
Wow.
I'm just gonna roll.
Wow. Burp,
That's a
Yeah, I think so. So 1, 2, 3, 40 damage.
Jeez.
okay.
That was
So I had-
Mortee a 1.
actually, I had
Oh, you had false life up.
at max, and I rolled a 6, so 6 plus 35.
Yeah, and they all mutter, "I get it. I understand. These heroes have embarrassed the Sararak. We will earn our freedom by killing them."
Okay.
Just run me through you guys' turns real fast here.
Nayana's like,
That's
I'm
what they're gonna do every turn. They're gonna point that rotting gaze, and they're gonna fire it 8 times because they can't do anything else.
Do we have? What do we have back after being resurrected?
It's as if a long rest, I guess. I don't really know.
Okay. Take it.
It's a new body. If it was like a raised dead, I'd probably say less. But the
That's-
penalty is that you get a crappy new body.
What about the boy who sees a Serac?
That one still did his thing, but you still have Phantasmal Force up on him, so you can exert that as a bonus action on your turn.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm gonna I'm actually gonna say that I was up here if we were looking
Sure.
through the curve.
Yeah. You guys are probably all up there. Something like that.
Yeah.
Can I be like, whoa, guys, where does the red one take me?
They just sort of, now you see these 8 eyes just all kind of look at you, and then they look back at Mortee, who they've already hit. They're trying to decide who to point this beam at. Like, you deserve nothing. You had your chance. You have proven yourself unhelpful.
Well, then you had your chance also,
Bro?
I just can't wait. I just can't wait for Arias to goat his new body.
Well, that's like all that. I used that thing up, bro. Good. It's not broken, but I used it up.
That's true. It's spent.
Okay, so normal attack, just bam.
Hits.
Bam.
Oof. Yep.
And rage, of course.
So everyone takes 3 fire damage.
Hello, Chad?
Hello?
Wait, why?
Raged.
Because of
He's
Chad?
allowed to. He's not the same guy anymore.
Still got that somehow.
We got that. I'll yell at Nayana. Sorry. There's your proper thanks.
She's in the bathroom. I'll tell her when she gets back.
Do you have a second attack you want to swing at me?
I do.
Yep. Oh, that's a crit, right? Oh no.
No, that's +7 to it already.
Yeah. So you chop this guy up, and he is looking real bad now.
And I already bonus act rage, so that's all I got.
Okay, Tyranny, you're up.
Okay, can I?
Let's see the Tyranny Chipper Shredder.
Can I use the staff of the Forgotten One?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime you want, you can use it anytime you want.
Is he gonna do something bad to me?
Oh boy.
No. I mean, if you just attack with it, it won't.
Yeah, I want to attack with it.
Is it,
How did I upgrade your weapon?
Yeah, that's impressive.
Okay, yeah. Just roll bookmark, so we don't have to fix your character sheet yet.
Yeah.
But we'll add 10 damage to the damage that you do.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Somebody should get bookmark now, though.
No. I need different size, different weapons for different moments.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
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 So that first hit is enough to kill the one that Chad weakened. The second hit bloodies the second one.
Yeah. Alright. And I'll walk up to the second one and I'll do
Flurry of blows.
flurry of blows.
So 2 unarmed strikes. Hit. I don't have to do
Oh god. Oh god.
What is happening?
Sorry.
No worries.
Did I spray you with blood or something, Morty?
Yeah, so you plow through 2 of these, and as you sort of like put the staff like to rest after your attacks on it, you just hear this whisper. That's whisper in your head. That's like, you could be so much more. You could be so much stronger, so much faster.
Not for now. We'll
There-
revisit this later.
There is a great weapon within you.
Duh.
That's all.
Okay. Where's my turn?
Folly.
Yes.
You got a phantasmal force on one of these guys, and you've got a turn.
Hell yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna bonus roll that this guy has a Serac, like literally just like crushing his neck as his attack.
Okay. Little Darth Vader thing, but
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just like 1d6 though, psychic damage.
yeah, sure, just roll it. Yeah, but it's like keeps him preoccupied. It's like a
Yeah.
crowd control that does damage. It's very good.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll throw a sticker on him so that I can sell it. So 5
that's
damage.
that.
He takes 5. And then what's your follow up?
And then my follow-up is to give a good cloud of no, that's concentration. To give good stab to.
And as you go for this attack, you realize that you don't feel the influence of Shigambi.
Of what?
Shigambi?
Oh, yeah, gotcha. So I give I use my rapier.
Hits.
With my psychic blades.
Is this on the same guy?
No. This is well, I'm assuming that the guy was like over here, but I don't know which one.
I put the yellow dot on.
Oh, yellow dot? Yeah. That. So it's a different guy.
I put you attacking here.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Unless you want something different.
No, that's fine. I ran to the other side, but yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Nayana, what are you doing about all these chained, poor, helpless individuals tricked by a Sarak the Eternal?
Trixie.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a fireball.
Do you know Fireball?
Bro?
Or wall of fire?
Sure. You want to wall of fire this whole back wall?
Hello?
What?
Nayana?
I think you might actually be able to shape a wall of fire such that it hits all 6 remaining guys.
Yeah, I think I can.
Wow. And I thought Mortee was bordering on evil.
Is this the thing to do?
Nayana, you cast it?
Yeah.
You burn them alive. They are chained to the wall and cannot run.
Cool.
As they strain against their shackles trying to get out of this wall of fire. And you burn them all.
Do they die?
Yeah. I mean, if not this turn, then next.
Okay.
They can't do shit. They can't do shit.
They're chained against the wall, Nayana. What are you doing?
Guys, I'm trying to protect us, A, and B, they have eyes that swirl. I don't like those.
They're swirly eyes. They're like Sunday fudges with chocolate swirls.
You guys have been looking for this entire time is thank you.
Wait. If it's gonna take 2 turns to kill him, Orias is gonna try to free one of them to interrogate.
Okay. Make a either an attack roll or an athletics check, depending on how you want to try to break their bonds. Athletics check would be like you're trying to like break the chain or with like I don't know.
Actually,
probably a weapon. Probably a weapon attack.
I'll do athletics.
Okay. Yeah, so you're able to pull one of them off the wall, and it hisses and you know screams.
Nayana's like, suit yourself,
Orias. Why have you chosen me?
A Sarak told me so. Told me to.
Yes, I am not of a mind to argue. What do you seek?
Where does the red path take me?
He just let me make sure that I'm right before I answer you. Scroll. He laughs. He just like it's uncontrollable laughter at the idea that you would follow the red path.
Oh. Where does the purple path take me?
To the treasures of the great library.
What does that mean?
It says if you seek freedom, mind the bones. Mind the bones.
Gosh.
That does not sound pleasant.
And what about the yellow path?
Also to the library, but Take the purple path.
How do you say that?
Boom! Lightning.
Oh.
This guy's a loon.
What does the archway that the skeleton's pointing at do?
To the Black Fountain. To the rest
What?
of your life.
What if we took you with us?
Sure, I can also find my own way out. I know all of the ways out.
Perfect.
Because you wouldn't take us somewhere where we'd die, right?
Ah, the sweet embrace of death.
Oh.
Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Perhaps the Sararak is waiting for us to die, so that he may make us his lieutenants in his great army.
Sarac is dead.
When all the gods are dead.
So is yours.
He turns to you, and he smiles so big, and he says, "Do you believe a Sararak can die?"
Well, he's gone for now, so yeah.
I mean, yes, he's probably not dead now, but I do believe he can die.
He's not a god yet.
That is naive.
You're naive.
He says, after that, he smiles and he says, "I've changed my mind. You should take the red path."
Damn.
Didn't answer me. What is
Shots
the red
fired.
The red path goes to the oubliette.
I can make up words too. Labba dabba ding dong.
Just take
What's
it
the
and see for take it and see for yourself.
What's the oubliette?
He just sort of like tries to pull away from you. I don't know if you're like holding him, but he kind of tries.
Like pinning him to the ground.
No, then he's just. It's where you go if you try to teleport around here. A Sarak's cruel humor.
Ah.
Oh.
All right. Should we take the purple path?
Should we bring him with us or no?
Sure.
The Sarac is waiting for you on the surface. Just how to get to him.
In my own way.
What?
The surface?
Yeah.
Yes, the surface to the. And he'll walk up and he'll point at the wall that the skeletal body is pointing at.
But you just said it's the rest of your life. The Black Fountain.
That's how else would you get to the surface besides the Black Fountain?
I have to walk.
The doors will not open from the inside. This is the way out.
Even Folly's like,
Instead of letting him
huh.
die.
What, Eugene?
I say even Folly's like,
Oh.
this seems sketch.
Nayana,
Which path will you walk? I can't wait to find out.
can I punch him in the face?
Sure. He's probably got a couple hit points left. One more of those, he's probably going to go under.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, Nayana has an affinity for knocking things out and then bringing them back to life with the heal.
Yeah. Or a reincarnation, apparently.
Yeah, too.
I'll bring you back as a Kenku. Watch out.
Oh no, please, anything but that.
Come back, Dan. Dan's not very happy with me right now.
Mortee looks at that. So he's looking at that staff that Tyranny was using, and
that looks good.
yeah,
What about it?
it has. I don't know how to describe this in game terms, but it has a requirement for attunement.
Oh yeah, she's not attuned to it.
So does she still get the? Is it still a +3 then?
That's a.
Is it the
good
beneficial
question.
property?
Yeah. She's using it as a melee weapon to some effect right now, but we'll talk about that. You're right that it does say she has to be a wizard, warlock, or sorcerer, right?
Yeah.
Does it say that? Oh.
And it doesn't say that it is a plus 3/4 staff. It says under beneficial properties, you can wield the staff as a plus 3/4 staff that deals an extra 10 damage.
Yes. Okay, I will abdicate that in a second. Let me think about that one. Because I don't tend to love the requirements like that, but there's a reason for it, and it's because it shouldn't be a plus 3/4 staff on a martial character, right? But we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it right now, Tyranny.
Okay.
Unless someone wants to try to take it from her.
Better not touch it. I'll pluck you, chicken. What did we decide?
Yeah, which path do you guys want to walk?
Clearly not the red one.
I think I would go purple.
Is Kubazan still with me?
Not since you stepped through the Misty Gate.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling.
What happened to the god weapons? Did they not come either?
They're here, but they definitely feel lighter.
Not spiritual.
You think that you're still in the tomb, but you're maybe further away from the source of these things than you were prior. So, which path?
Not the red one.
Purple? Purple's the one that the dead guy's pointing at, right?
Yep. No, the dead guy's not pointing at any path. He's just pointing at the one wall with no path.
He's dead.
But he's pointing.
Yeah. You're dead too.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, purple path it is.
Don't all have to go the same way. Tell me where you're going.
Folly goes down the purple path.
Okay. So you walk all the way down the purple path, and when you get to the gate, the archway, it's as if there was nothing there. You can just continue to walk.
Oh, sweet.
What? Folly just disappears?
He appears over here. There's soft dulcimer music filling the room, the walls of which are painted the color of dried blood. Bookcases draped in cobwebs and dust line the walls and stand 4 deep in the middle of the room. Hundreds of leather-bound tomes weigh down their sagging shelves. At one end of the room, a small study contains a padded leather chair, a footstool, and a small table, as well as 3 corpses dangling upside down from shackles and chains bolted to the ceiling near the north wall. A lantern-shaped device resting on top of the table appears to be the source of the music. An old man lies asleep in the chair, his horn-rimmed spectacles slipping down the end of his nose.
Who's that person?
So first of all,
That's
I'm
the
gonna
old man lying asleep in a chair.
Ah, okay.
First of all, I'm gonna send a message to the party and tell them the purple path was good. I think there's an old man sleeping in this chair in this library.
With a bunch of dead bodies?
There's some dead bodies on the ceiling, but they're dead.
Okay.
I'll cast false life at 5 and follow down the purple path.
Sure. You appear in the library.
Yeah, I'll go too.
And then I go and shake the old man awake.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, oh, why do you disturb me? Who are you?
They say, I'm Goldie the Goldstein. Here to deal with the Serac.
Glasses. I'm Mr. Fox.
Who are you? Why are you here?
This is my library. I have been tasked with the collection of arcane secrets. This is my work. This is my duty. This is my responsibility.
Responsibility to whom?
A Serac?
Why do you work for a Serac?
While he's talking to him, I want to start walking down the shelves, like kind of just looking around, get a base of.
Yeah, let me see investigation.
Us three took the purple path and ran this library. This old man that was sleeping.
Oh.
Yeah, just off, like you're walking through and you're like, wow, these are like really nice historical texts. These are like great arcane lore tomes. So you're looking at like, there's 200 books on history that must be worth 50 gold apiece, and there's 60 tomes on the history of magic, which must be worth 100 gold apiece. There's just cases of spell scrolls, but you get to one point where you find an entire small rack of spell books.
Ooh.
Most of them are unlabeled, but you recognize them as spell books. But one of them has burned into a leather binding. It says X the Mystic's Arcane Grimoire. And it looks to be the fanciest of the spell books that are sort of not on display exactly, but they have their own special shelf.
Yeah, I'll grab that one.
Yeah. So when you flip through it, can I get 3 D3s? All right. Can you roll me? What were your numbers there? 1, 3, and 2.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna need. What's the total of that? 6. I'm gonna need 60, 100. And can you tell me those 60, 100?
Sure. 23.
Stop. The first spell is Finger of Death.
Wow.
And then now you're on the next category, right? Like you used up the. Okay, so what's the next D100?
27.
Control Weather.
Wow.
82.
Power Word Stun.
Woo!
39.
Is this in the same category? Yeah. 39.
Yeah.
Dominate Monster.
Oops.
And then the last category,
Mhm.
An 11.
Foresight.
And 47.
Power Word Kill.
Jesus.
Cool.
And as you pick it up and start to look through it, can I see a stealth check?
Yeah. I think it would
Wow.
actually be one better than that too, because
Because your dex.
yeah, it goes up a ton, right?
Yeah. So, you see, Mr. Fox, like, did you have Goldie Goldenstein? Did you have companions? Is there someone in my library?
And I say, I mean, that's not a thing you should ask a woman.
What? No, I'm asking if I'm being robbed.
I say they were companions. I don't know exactly where they are, but they're somewhere in this vast habitat.
This is most unusual. What? How did you get here? He stands up.
Oh, we just came in through the door, the front door.
No, that is clearly the back door. The golden path leads to my front door.
Oh.
Which I have trapped so that people would not come in here and rob me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it does a good job, I'm sure.
Just leave me be. Go. The skeleton points at your exit. You needn't bother me. I will return to my research as I am bound to do.
Okay.
How do we get to the surface?
Follow the skeleton's pointing hand. Go out the way you came. Don't follow any of the paths. Go where the skeleton points. Jump into the black fountain.
That's the second time someone said that.
Yeah,
Just
and then
leave me be.
And then what happens? What does the black fountain do?
It takes you to the surface. Are you sure that there's no one reading my books back there?
I don't know.
I'm not reading them.
I'm not my friend's keepers.
He gets up and starts to walk around like through the aisles, and he says, "The books will not survive outside of this sterile environment. If you wish to read one, you must stay here."
Okay. Got it. I start going through some of the history books.
So
I used to be a bard,
Are you attempting to hide from Mr. Fox as he walks down the aisles looking for you, Mortee? You're very small.
I don't think I would have. I think I would have been listening and would have tucked away the one that I found.
You put it on your person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
He comes. Yeah. So then you don't try to hide.
No.
He looks at you, and then he adjusts his spectacles on his face, and he says, "You have not had that body long, have you?"
And I'll say it right back at him.
Oh.
He finds that amusing, and he laughs. And as he does, his human form melts away.
Oh no!
And reveals the form of an Arcanoloth.
Oh.
How cute!
That seems pretty good.
Yeah.
What a cutie pie! He
And
looks
then-
like Marshmallow.
And then I say I feel like I read a story about you and some grandma and a red hood.
He doesn't think that's as funny.
So do we know anything about these creatures?
Yeah, this would be a religion check, probably.
I might have heard.
Ooh, is that Mortee? That's
Yeah.
24?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're speaking to a powerful fiend.
Ooh.
That is an Arcanoloth is a lore keeper, is a sort of fiendish librarian of some sort, that the most valuable thing to an Arcanoloth is knowledge, and cultivating this knowledge and cataloging this knowledge. And this one seems to have lost some sort of seems to owe a Sararak something. Doesn't seem to necessarily hold a Sararak in high regard, but must tend to this library. And it seems that he has taken some liking to you for your clever Kenku phrases. And he says to you, "You have one of my books.
Ooh.
Now, if you'd like to read it, you may stay here, but it cannot leave this place. I will not allow it." This fox man adjusts his glasses, but his snoot is so long that you're pretty sure he's not really looking through them. Seems more like a habit than... He says, "I cannot leave, and these tomes cannot leave, or else I have broken a very serious promise. And I do like you, but I would not be above punishing you for this. So if you wish to read one of these tomes, you will stay here in this library." I just realized that my guy's not on the... Oh, maybe I did. But I mean, you can roll insight, sort of get a feel of this thing. It's speaking to you very clearly. Also, you feel like even though it is speaking to you, it is moving its mouth and speaking words, it can understand you telepathically. So communication is not an issue.
Yeah.
And do you think that it is as honest as any fiend you've ever talked to?
Yeah. I'll say what is your debt to a Sararak?
He says, "We've only just met. Stay a while and perhaps we will share stories. I'm sure you have many. Otherwise, please put my tome back on the shelf where you found it and be on your way." And he looks at you like a little deeper, and he says, "There are also tomes of more moderate skill if you feel the need to build up to such a thing." He's guessing you don't have 7th, 8th, and 9th level spell slots.
Yeah. Man. I want to stay with you. I do. But I also have reason to fear this place now.
It is a terrible place. I will not, in your words, sugarcoat this. Do you eat sugar? Do Kenku eat sugar?
I haven't eaten yet. I don't know.
He finds a book on the shelves. The Anatomy of Kenku. And he hands it to you. And he says, "You can take this one. I will mark it as damaged."
Can I try and swap inside books, like what's inside the cover?
They're bound. You're gonna like rip the pages out? I mean, that is a sleight of hand roll to end sleight of hand rolls.
Seriously.
Hello?
Ignore this sound.
What's that?
No, you just go, achoo!
Oh, quite the sneeze. Was this the front door?
No, I can reveal that for you. It's a long hallway that goes right to where you'd expect.
Okay. So all that's in here is books.
Yeah, it's no. He's got a very strange little lantern that's playing music. Just you looking at him, you realize that his glasses are clearly like mithril and platinum, and they're probably worth a fortune just by themselves. Like there is minor treasures, but you're also, now that you see him for what he is, I mean, this is a powerful fiend, and this is his library, and you guys can,
Does
you know,
fiend mean a
you're-
bad person?
yeah, demons and devils are both fiends, but not all fiends are demons or devils. This is a Yugoloth, which is somewhere between the two.
Okay.
But yes, they're definitely on the alignment axis. He's definitely evil, but that doesn't mean that he's not good for his word, and he has offered Mortee tutelage.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I? What's the general, like? I guess I wouldn't know. Like a consensus on possible respawn times on like.
Give me an Arcana roll. And also, you do have a Arcana expert in the room with you. Someone who knows far more about the weaves than you do.
Yeah, I can answer that for you, Mortee. It's about
How long, like, I don't know if you're omnipotent or not, but we've just banished the Therax's physical form.
Have you? He says the universe likes to play dice. And he pulls out from his pocket a polyhedral set. Right? Just like the ones you guys play with. And he picks up a D10 and he tosses it along the table. And before it even stops rolling, he puts his hand over it, slides it, puts it into his pocket. And he says, that many days, give or take.
no, it's not long.
That is not long.
To be fair, I don't know that he would come here immediately. He would most certainly assume that you would be gone.
Wait,
And if he came here looking for you, I don't think that he would expect a Kenku.
wouldn't he be weakened for a while or something?
But yeah, I don't know. I can't begin to predict what his plans would be.
Yeah. Lots to learn.
How long is your bird life?
60 years. It's about the
60
same as
years?
his total. Yeah, 60 years. It's about the same as his total life, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably want to stay.
Okay. So Mortee settles down in a chair with a spell book, and we'll talk about that, Mortee, because he has a lot of spell books. There are 6 unique spell books, sort of going up through the levels of arcane magic. And he's not going to give them all to you all at once. You won't be able to spend 24 hours a day on this. He's got other things that he wants to teach you. But you will leave this place, should you leave this place, with a bunch of spells. And we'll talk about that on Discord to get these guys out of here.
Yeah.
The rest of you guys, where do you go?
Can we wake up the guy?
Voila.
Oh, yeah. Well, oh, what? He looks around. He says, "I recognize some of you. Where am I?"
How do you recognize them? Oh, because I see.
We met in Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
Please, heroes, I must get. I need to get off of this, off of this island, out of this jungle. Please escort me to Waterdeep.
Nayana, it's like, how did you get here?
I don't know. please, escort me to Waterdeep. I will be happy to introduce you to the adventuring band known as the Faerun Owlbear Protection Services.
I've heard a lot about them.
Can
A hero that saves Volo surely could join their ranks.
Wait, what is the last thing you remembered?
I was out in the jungle with a guide. We were doing research for Volo's Guide to Monsters 2, the second. And I was ambushed by the undead. Next thing I know, I woke up in this leather bag in this strange dungeon. Where are we?
How awful.
We're still in Chult.
Let's go to Waterdeep. We'll go to the yawning portal. We will debrief this whole thing. Get me back to Portney and Zoro, and I can arrange us a teleport.
Okay.
Can I do like insight to see this guy's who we think he is?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's nothing about him that strikes you as him. You don't know him as well as the others do.
Yeah,
but he seems like he's a scared, middle-aged author who's stuck in a dark dungeon and is willing to pay these adventurers whatever they ask to get him to Portney and Zoro. / Waterdeep. He wants to go to Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Wait, so sorry, did Mortee decide to just leave?
Mortee's gonna stay with Mr. Fox.
Oh.
Yeah, but before Tyranny leaves the room, he would do just about anything to convince her to leave the staff of the Forgotten One with him, mainly for the intel bonuses. Like,
yeah,
help with spell things.
We have to complete this mission, and I don't feel right leaving you here, so no.
He sees you asking all these times, and he puts his hand on your shoulder, and he speaks telepathically to you, and he says, "You will not need it here. And when you leave, I am sure it will find its way to you, should you want it. And I'm not sure that you do."
Very good.
So Folly would stay with Mortee to make sure he's okay. Like, I mean, it depends, I guess. Like, how long does... So Folly would ask Mortee, how long do you expect to need to study these spells?
Years?
Yeah, so it could be years. And, Mr. Fox will chime in and say, there is more magic that can be learned that can be learned in any mortal lifespan. There's more magic that can be learned in a Sararak's lifespan. I will stay. He can stay until I tire of him, and then he can leave. You have my word. I will not harm him unless he breaks very simple rules that we will set forth. No book leaves this library. This kind of thing.
Folly's like, there are a lot of history books here that I could use, but if you're gonna stay here for years, I don't know if I could do that.
Internal Mortee question: does he think that he would like just thumbing through the stuff here versus what he's seen? And honestly, it's pretty not great of the Red Wizards. Like, does he think that he'll get he's got better worldly stuff here than...
The fact that you saw a formula written down for power word kill just blew your little Kenku mind. That doesn't happen.
Okay, but how little is his Kenku mind?
That is a spell that is discovered by a powerful necromancer and hoarded and kept to himself for fear that it would ever be pointed at him.
Fair.
It is not written down. And yet, here's a formula that you think you could almost halfway follow. You know what I mean? Like you need some practice, but
Yeah. So yeah, no, definitely Mortee would be about staying.
Okay. Well, Folly is probably going to stay with him for at least a little bit. I mean, looking through the history of magic and
yeah, there's definitely some stuff that you could learn.
just world knowledge,
There's
history
definitely
knowledge.
some stuff that you could learn.
Yeah, as a bard, I feel like that's pretty important for me to know.
Cool. So I'll talk to you guys on Discord about what happens in your time at the library.
I don't know if I'll stay the whole time that Morty's going to be here, but
Really?
Folly's down to chill out for a bit.
Nayana's not gonna stay.
No, I hope not. Let's get you guys out of here. We'll handle the library hour. The most interesting thing you can do while adventuring is visit a library.
You know it.
The rest of you guys, you leave out the front door?
The front door has a. He said it has
Yeah,
a.
he's trapped it, so he'll either turn it off for you or go out the back door.
Yeah, I'll be like, find me when you're out, Mortee.
Sounds
Yeah.
good, buddy. Water, buddy.
Yeah,
Buddy.
water, water buddy,
Well, you guys are tree buddies now.
tree buddies.
Actually, when you said "find me when you're out, Mortee," I would say "find me when you're out, Mortee."
That's funny.
And then I'll see you later, nerds, and walk out.
Where's the front door?
Here.
No, don't go at the front door.
He's
Wait.
gonna turn the traps off.
Yeah, he'll turn the traps off.
All right.
But you could go down the Black Fountain, no?
Well, that's why he says go down the Black Fountain is the way you get out.
That is the front door.
Oh.
What do you say, guys?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Volo, we'll get you out of here if you give us some royalty for every book you sell.
Yeah, we'll hammer out the details. My lawyers will talk to you and want to. We'll figure it all out.
All right. I'm not very. I guess I'm wise. Not very intelligent though.
And you're leaving the brain trust behind.
Be like, all right, we'll take a blood pact, and I will cut my hand.
He thinks it's real weird, but he'll do it.
Nice. All right, let's go.
So you guys go through the wall that the skeleton's pointing at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all dead.
You all die.
Rip.
A pool of jet black ooze glistens inside this silent chamber, whose walls are decorated with relief carvings depicting black stars.
I searched the walls.
Yeah, some of the stars like have a little bit of an indentation to them, and inside one of them you couldn't see at first because the star was covered by a perfectly small black orb, a tiny like a marble, perfectly black.
I'll grab it.
Okay, you have it. You hear a voice in the back of your head that says, "Where would you like to go?"
Oh. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Yeah, we want to go back to the city, right? We don't want to be in the middle of the forest.
Fort Nanzaru, right?
Yeah. Near a. Oh, we take the money from Mortee.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And the bag of holding, right?
Well, it's full of money. It's like full to the brim of money.
All I can hold is money, so we take that.
Yeah. You guys take it. I don't have a need for it in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of inks and stuff like that here for copying spell books and stuff.
Perfect.
And I'll say, take us to the finest inn in Port Nianzaro. Sorry.
So it seems like most of those words didn't, like, like you're talking to voice recognition software, and like most of your words, it's like I don't freaking know what those words mean. But when you say Portney and Zaru, the black pool rises up and shapes itself into a tiny but colorless replica of Portney and Zaru. And the orb, the sort of pearl in your hand, starts to be pulled towards that black pool. You can easily hold it back, but like it wants to.
And I say that's not Portney and Zaro. It needs to be at least 3 times that size.
Perfect.
What do we do?
We go into.
Yeah, the marble is like pulling itself from your hand, trying to get into the.
And we have Nayana
Into
with
the
us as
pool.
well.
Nayana's with you.
Yeah.
I'm there.
So we all agree? Are we jumping in?
Yeah.
You guys should probably.
Volo's like, why not water deep? What business have you in Portney and Zaru?
Anybody? I came from the water. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I can't breathe water.
Where did we originally start? Waterdeep?
Baldur's Gate, actually, but yes, over that side of the world.
But there was somebody who offered a reward in Port Nanzaru.
Syndra Sylvain. She's dead, but you could try to find her. Baldur's Gate was where she was. Oh, she was in Port Nanzaru. That's fair.
Yeah, we're at that place with the couches.
With the couches.
Yeah.
The couches.
It's been a long time.
It has.
Yeah, let's just go Port Nanzaru and see if Ladyface is awake.
Okay, but do we want to go back to the other land?
Waterdeep?
Like ever? Because that trip could be annoying, right?
Which land?
He's talking about, like, so Chult is like an island far away, and
Oh.
he's like, "What? Save us the boat ride. Let's go to Waterdeep. We get your reward through the mail."
Well, what would we do in Waterdeep?
What won't you do in Waterdeep? Waterdeep is the best city in the realm.
I mean, we just ended the death curse. Like, you can go do whatever you want.
Where's Chestnut?
Gone.
Chestnut's dead, but you could look her up, and the best detectives, the best people finders in the world are in the city of Waterdeep. All roads lead to Waterdeep.
Why does the DM want us to go to Waterdeep so bad?
I don't know. Maybe I've got 2 solid books of adventures that take place in Waterdeep. I don't know.
Maybe.
Um,
That might be a thing.
I mean, I'm down to go to. I can't get home, so.
Also, you like the name Waterdeep.
What?
It just sounds good to Arias.
Oh yeah, it does. That's true. It's as close to deep in the water as I'm gonna get.
All right, shall we go to Waterdeep?
I'll look you guys up in Waterdeep when I get out of here.
All right. Try not to die to a Serac when he comes back.
I'll do my best.
All right.
Okay. You say Waterdeep, and the model changes, and it strikes you how enormous this city is compared to Portney and Zaru. If your characters haven't been there, it's like huge. Like when you're flying into LA on an airplane, and it just goes on forever. That's what Waterdeep looks like in this miniature.
This reminds me of one of our smaller cities underwater.
Okay.
And the pearl quivers in your hand.
Is everyone okay with this?
Go now, or you will miss the tide.
It's Mortee in cahoots with something. Well, okay.
Cool. So you let go of the pearl. It flies down into the model, and as it slams into the black silhouette model of Waterdeep, it breaks it, right? It ripples and shatters it. And as you're watching that, it seems to sort of splash out of the pool and grow larger and larger until it fills your vision with black. And then as your vision sort of fades back in, you're standing just outside a bustling inn on the city streets of a metropolis city. A cart rolls down the street, dashes by. You know, the cart driver leans out the window and yells, "Get out of the road! What are you doing?" You kind of step off onto the sidewalk, and that's it. You're far from home.
Oh.
You're far from whatever home is like for an adventurer. You're out of the Tomb of the Nine Gods. You're in the faraway city of Waters Deep. And Volo is excited to be home. And he's like, "Come, I'll show you. This is the best place. I'll buy your first round." And he opens a door to the inn. There's this great big inn. All these people, all these adventurers, more adventurers than you've ever seen in your life, all drinking, laughing, eating good food. Volo is greeted by the doorman. He's obviously been here many times. And he seats you all down at a big table, and he orders a round of food and drinks. And he says, "But what were you guys doing down there anyways? What's your story?" As if he doesn't know a thing about it.
Who says that?
Volo.
So
Like the death curse and all of these things, like he's been unconscious since maybe it was like session 3 or 4. So he doesn't know that the death curse has been lifted or anything. So you guys have to tell all your stories to him.
yeah.
He has to decide whether to believe them.
This is like at the end of Inception when they all wake up from the dream and they're just on a normal plane landing.
No. All of the things happened. It's just that the person that you're with doesn't know them, and you guys have to sit there and tell him about it. And he seems to grow more and more amazed and more incredulous that by some luck he was saved. When you mention the Sararak, he pulls out all these notes and journals and finds places that this person was mentioned, and he gets fearful. But I mean, he believes everything. It's not that. It's just that your story and that you're the heroes that did it will take some convincing to tell other people. He'll believe you, and he's happy to write the histories. But the death curse is cured, and no one knows why.
Well, look it. We're the heroes of the day. You're welcome.
Woo!
Woo.
Wait, did the Sphere of Annihilation come with us?
You've got that necklace, and you think with a bit of work you might be able to get it to instantiate one. But no, it doesn't just come with you. It's just not just like hanging out there in the corner of the inn.
There's some of the weapons
That was all I'm saying.
Yeah. So what was that? You said Tyranny?
Should we show them all the weapons and the
Yeah. I mean that's what you
mayonnaise?
right? We don't have to go through it. But you're in a faraway place, with full of its own adventures and its own mysteries. And Volo, when you start to tell him the story, he realizes just how serious this is, and he decides that he needs to immediately send a message to Fops, that he needs to get the world's most powerful adventurers that are still active informed. And he sends a missive to them, which will find them shortly when they get returned from Shadowfell, that asks them to all sort of meet in Waterdeep and share notes, because this could be a problem of cosmic proportion. And he's very convinced that while he's very happy that you did what you did, that it's sort of like you kicked a hornet's nest of a Sararak's rage, and all hands need to be on deck. But after he sends these introductions, he also sort of distances himself from the whole thing. He doesn't want to be on any lists, any Acererak lists.
Didn't we have to get something to Fern?
Yeah, so Dragonbait's doing that too. So we got a whole bunch of threads going that'll be fun, and I have some ideas for how to kind of pull this all together. If you guys play together, though, all these characters that you have, you can bring any of these characters. They're all high enough level to sort of roll together now, which is pretty cool. So for any sort of future adventures, like Holiday One Shot or something that I run, feel free to bring any of these characters. I think it'd be pretty cool to put them up with the Fops guys.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
that's fun.
Sweet.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions about the world, I can answer them like here or on Discord or whatever.
Sure.
But for the most part, the death curse is cured, and everyone is very happy, and it will be written down in the history books that it just ended one day, unless you guys change that.
And then we're level 20.
And then you're level 20. No, you know.